Good morning. Microphone check. Microphone check. 1, 2. What is this? Santana's bell. I don't know the rest of the words. Thank you, Lenny, Lisa, Z. Who else is in there? Jess, Mr. Miami Cool. Mr. Miami Cool, where were you when we were in Miami is the question.
Just when we find out that Mr. Miami Cool has been Becky's husband the whole time, secretly listening.
You're gonna want to.
I know, I'm fixing.
Oh, it still says last show from Florida. Well, I will change that tomorrow. Oh, look, there's Erica's city. Salt Lake City. Fred, good to see you. Yeah, 4 hours, 4-hour drive was definitely not worth it to go.
Tomorrow, possible extra show tomorrow. Why are you saying that? Did you say that?
No, I don't think it was that. Did I?
Why is Kendi saying that?
I don't know. Freddie, you play Pokemon Unite, right? I feel like we've talked about this before. Yeah, I just downloaded it. I've never actually played because the tutorials take forever, but I think I'm going to start playing. Can you pick any Pokemon you want? Oh, Kendi said, I thought one of the announcements might have been a possible extra show this week. So we will get to all of the announcements. Okay, certain ones are open. You earn the ability to open new Pokemon. All right, I'm going to have to check it out. I got a lot of flying coming up this month.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, there we go. Welcome to the Carla, Marie, and Anthony show.
Good thing we got those emotes.
That's why those are there.
I'm Carla Marie.
My name is Anthony. And like I was saying during the countdown, I realized that between June 1st, which was Saturday, and June 30th, I am going to be in the air for more than a full day, which means I'll probably be at airports for almost 2 days. Or total, like, travel time, 2 days.
That's great.
Because it was almost 6 hours getting back here from Seattle, or from Miami to Seattle. Then there's going to be one trip back to New Jersey, back to Seattle. Then I fly from here to Japan, to Tokyo. So that's a lot of time in the air.
Yeah.
And even more time just sitting in airports waiting for all the people who are not in Group A to get out of my way so I can get on the plane.
Well, you're not in Group A either, so
No,
be quiet.
I'm not really a Group A traveler anymore, but I'm usually Group like B or C, 2 or 3. depending on the airline. I don't get it. I don't understand the like push of cattle
I do.
to the front.
It's because airlines have created this sense of fear that you're going to have to check your bag, which is the end of the world.
Mm-hmm. But this is what they should do. They should, load the plane from back to front. Right? It's stupid that you could be in group 17 and group
And
A.
seat 7.
I'm sorry, seat 17 in group A. But then someone in group B can be behind you, and now they've got to wait. It's so stupid. The whole process is dumb. They just do it so they can nickel and dime you and say, hey, give us an extra $35 and you can board first.
Well, no, and it's so that they can be like, first class, you can come sit now.
Yeah.
And I literally, even when we got upgraded all the time during COVID with Alaska and we would fly first class, I wouldn't get on the plane right away. 2 reasons. 1, I don't need to sit another 30 minutes. I'm going to be sitting for 6 hours. And 2, for me during COVID, I was like, I don't need all these people walking past me.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to let them board and then I will get on the plane last.
And if you are in first class, because I don't think I've never paid for a first class seat. I've only been upgraded.
Or my brother paid.
You're guaranteed
Overhead space.
So you don't have that like panic of not getting your overhead space. Yes, Carla.
Scotty said, well, I'm going to fly real first class when I head back west next Tuesday, and I want my Prosecco immediately.
That's fair. I mean, if you're going to get a free drink or whatever, but yeah, you're on the plane forever.
That was the best part.
You don't want to be on there for any longer than you need to be.
The best part about COVID was boarding back to front.
Yeah. With kids, I like boarding early, but I'm totally okay with people who might need more time getting onto the plane going first, families with kids going first, and vets going first, or active military. Put them all on. There aren't that many people fitting into those categories on every single flight. Only to Orlando, because everyone, for the most part, has a family going down there.
This last flight. Oh, by the way, you sat aisle. How did you think? Would you like what?
I've sat in an aisle before.
I really want you to be an aisle seat guy so we can both do aisles.
I liked it.
Okay, cool.
I got up a lot, but I didn't sleep.
Because I had posted about us, like, we've never, ever sat like that.
Mm-hmm.
In all the flights we've ever taken, we've never sat aisle. Because we either try to do aisle window and no one's sitting in between us, or I end up going in the middle because it would be so weird if we put someone in between us.
Yeah.
I think. And because Anthony loves window, I love aisle. And I often make the sacrifice to go in the middle. But we had to sit aisle in case I needed help because I physically could not do things after surgery. And I had posted that we were sitting aisle, and so many people were like,
aisle, just slow down.
So many people are like, this is the only way to fly with your significant other. It is the best because you can still talk if you need to. You can still like give each other things if you need to, but you have the space.
Yeah. No, being able to stretch my legs, I feel like that's the thing that's become more of an issue for me.
That's why my dad likes the aisle.
I feel like as I've been sitting in window seats, which I still love to go to sleep, but I feel trapped.
Yeah, I don't know, for me.
And then I can't stretch my legs out. So,
yeah,
which is actually one of the reasons when I travel, I am much more likely, to check a bag, like a regular sized bag before I fly. I feel like for a long time I was trying to fit everything into a carry-on and into a backpack so that I didn't pay the extra $35 or whatever it was. And I realized it just wasn't worth it.
No.
You're not packing the right stuff. It creates a bunch of stress, and now you're, hobbling through the airport with all your stuff. So now I try to put as much stuff in an actual checked bag, as few things as I can in a backpack, and then I usually have like a crossbody bag, and that is the only thing I have with me on the actual when I'm in my seat, because then I put my backpack up top because it's only one item, and I am given one item in the top.
But they will tell women boarding with their backpack and their Lululemon bags, you need to put that in your backpack.
Which is bullshit.
I'm just going to take it out when I get in my seat.
It's not even that. It's there are a lot of people fly with 2 bags, right? Your backpack and your carry-on. If I have chosen to fly with 1 bag and is in the overhead space, the backpack, and someone else gets on the flight and they've got 2 bags and they make me take my bag down and put it under my seat.
I hate that.
That's nonsense. And that's happened to me multiple times.
But it's because you have a bag that can fit under the seat.
Yeah, but I traveled this way on purpose so I would have
You should just
space.
be like, I tore my Achilles.
I should. So I'm going to do next time. I can't cramp my legs like that, tore my Achilles. I'm going to do that next time. I've never made a big stink of it, other than just like giving people dirty looks.
But yeah, Tacoma Swifty said personal bag and carry-on cause personal bag supposed to go under seat. Never mind. I don't know what I don't know what that said.
Let's see.
Fred the mailman said he always sits in the aisle because he's left-handed, and I only do window if I think I'm going to get some cool pics. So I think we were flying over Colorado, and the couple sitting next to me, I heard her being like, "Ooh, is that a mountain? Ooh, something about snow," because they were from Miami and they've never seen snow before, apparently. I'm not kidding. All the people around us, I was listening to them talk about how they were about to vacation in Seattle, and I was like, oh, you don't know. It's about to be the worst weather ever for 3 days.
I need to pause you for a second. Monica Metz 31 said, I've seen people put their carry-on and personal in the bin. That's also an a-hole move. If you brought 2 bags, one of them's got to go in front of you.
You've definitely put
Nope. I've never put 2 of my own bags. If it was like an empty flight, I'll do it.
Okay.
But I'll never take up that much space because I like to be considerate about with the people around me.
But they were like, oh, I wonder what that is. And I literally, this is the FOMO in me. I'm in the aisle, like, trying to look out the window. That's the only bad thing about being in the aisle is that.
But you've also been on that flight into Seattle.
No, it was like Colorado. I never saw those.
What? We've flown into and out of Colorado before.
It was different. But the guy next to me, he was like a larger dude. He actually kind of reminded me of LL Cool J.
Okay.
He was like not that big, but he was bigger. And they had friends sitting behind us, and he kept, I almost just put my arms up, which I cannot do, kept putting his arms up, like talking to them as they were boarding. And I was like,
oh, next. Okay.
And he was like moving his hands around. I'm like, dude, boobs. But I had my pillow on, but it was so nerve-wracking. And I got railed with the cart twice. That I get hit all the time. I mean, everyone that walks by is just hitting my shoulder every time. Yeah, that I will say is annoying.
And I can't do much because otherwise I'm leaning on the person next to me.
Also, so we were on a Delta flight, brand new plane. Like, it had cool lights on the ceiling, as if they were like about to do a show on Twitch. And the bathrooms,
very small.
The entrance, I'm not even kidding you, was less than a foot wide.
It was small. I mean, I didn't have to hold on to anything. My shoulders were wall to wall.
When we hit bad turbulence. The worst turbulence we hit on that plane was when I was in the bathroom. And I was like, oh no. And I did. I just like boxed out my knees, squatting, and held myself in place. If you're larger than you, how do you go to the bathroom?
I have no idea. Anyone wider than me, wider than my shoulders, would have had a very difficult time going to that bathroom. Real quick question. I want to say it was Kendi. Kendi said, I never fly. What do you do with your purse? Or is that a personal item that goes under your seat? If you only have your purse, you are more than welcome to put that up top. But
unless
if you have a backpack or a roller bag, the purse has to go under your seat.
And if someone else has a roller bag, they're going to take your purse down and make it go under your seat.
Which is nonsense. I understand that it fits. But I do think, and I know flight attendants have a very hard job.
No, I think this is what Tacoma Swifty was trying to say. Because they will literally tell you this. It is I think it's in when you're booking or somewhere, that your personal bag, that's a purse, or your backpack, is for under the seat. Overhead bin is for luggage.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, I think everyone's allowed one thing in the overhead.
No, they're not.
But this is where I do think, I know flight attendants have hard jobs as it is. And I know up until recently, a lot of them didn't even get paid until the doors of the plane were closed. I think that's changed on most airlines. But this is where I think they do need to do a better job of kind of policing people getting onto the plane, shoving all their stuff over a seat that's not theirs, then walking all the way to the back. If flight attendants policed that a little bit, right? If they just spent a year being very strict and saying, sir, is that your bag? Or is that your seat?
I've seen them do it once.
Take it back with you.
Yeah.
I think everything would be easier and make more sense. Because you've seen it, right? people get onto a flight.
Just throw their jacket up there.
They throw their carry-on in the first bin space available. Then they walk all the way back to seat 40.
No, I don't want those kind of people in my life.
Throws everything off, right? But if everyone just took the one spot available to them in the overhead space, the whole system would be better. Because then you have people that get on, they get all the way back to the 20s or 30s. They get on, they're in the teens, there's no bin space, then they've got to walk all the way back, put their bin up.
Oh, no.
Go back to their seat.
I'll get on a new flight before I have to do that.
And
I've seen people be like, hey, I had to put my bag back there. Can you pass it up?
Yeah. And normally in that situation, people are pretty helpful. It's just, it's insane. I think the two things that airlines need to do is, A, better police the inside while people are putting their bags up.
They should put real police on there.
Sure. I'm cool with it. The other thing they need to do, and I've seen it in a couple places. In Canada, they do it really well. And actually on this flight back from Miami, the gate agent did a very good job of every time he saw a crowd getting close to the gate, he would get on his little thing, his PA, and go, if you are not in groups 2 or 3, move
your ass down.
back.
Okay, here's what they should do. Like, literally, I don't care. There is, what is it called? Not a one strike rule.
Mm-hmm.
You're out. Mm-hmm. You put your luggage over a seat that's not yours. You get off the plane, and you're on the no-fly list.
You got to walk.
That's it. No, I don't care. Although I would have been banned because I did something illegal.
Oh.
Because now when you buy the peasant ticket, because that's an option on airlines, so it's
like, how poor are you?
The poorest, basic economy. You board last, you don't get to pick your seat, and you can't take a bag that is overhead bin size. You can take a purse that would fit only under your seat.
Purse or a backpack.
Nothing that has to go overhead. So when I flew with my Bays Weekender, that's the like a bag, it's almost like a weird duffel.
It's a duffel that kind of half zips, right?
I watched so many videos. Some airlines it fits under the seat, some it doesn't. I go to sit and I can't even get it into our seat area. And the guy next to me was like, "Do you want me to put that overhead for you?" I was like, "Yeah, go ahead." But I didn't pay for that. So I was like,
"You were a poor that put your bag overhead?" Oh man.
I was Jack Dawson.
You would be thrown right off the Titanic.
I was Jack Dawson sneaking in with the rich people.
Oh man. Yeah, they do.
Every airline has it now, Nick.
It is. And listen, I know that overall airline, the cost of a ticket would go up because at some point we would share the CEOs and the airlines aren't going to take a hit. So we would end up sharing that expense as people, as consumers. But something's got to be done with just limiting the amount of things airlines can nickel and dime you for. I remember a time, I know Spirit has an app now, but before Spirit, what are you doing?
Sorry, it looked weird.
Before Spirit updated their app, and you can actually check in on the app and use the mobile boarding pass, they would charge you $10. Think, for a piece of paper, they would charge you $10 if you didn't print your boarding pass at home.
It's crazy.
I need to reiterate this. $10 if you didn't print a piece of paper at home and you asked the airline who is responsible for getting you on the flight to do it.
Tacoma Swifty and Angela and Spokane are saying that they would never buy economy because the anxiety of not picking your seat. You always have a seat. You don't get to pick your seat. When you fly alone, it's like, all right, I'm by myself. I don't care where I end up. But you have to realize how often we are flying. The difference in price in 1 year, if I chose regular economy versus basic, would probably be close to $2,000. Yeah. It's great. Like the apps, it's more than $100 different almost every time, each way. Yeah. And it's bizarre.
We are going to stop talking about flights in a second, but there's a link that my brother Justin, Jolly Russian Buddhist, in the chat posted. I think if I remember correctly, that would probably be the how to properly board flights based on science. Is that the video you posted, Justin? If it is, it's a great video to watch. Watch it later. Don't leave here. But we are going to take a quick break, and then we're going to run through all of the list that we have because there's some big announcements we got.
Wait, you didn't update the
Oh,
list.
I didn't update the list.
How did no one yell at us?
I'll update the list in a second. Well, the list wasn't on for a long time.
Oh.
It wasn't. It's only been up there for a couple minutes. Here, let me put this up there. And then we'll take our quick break. I didn't realize how long we talked about flights for until just now. It should update now.
Tell you what.
There we go.
The most appealing thing about ever moving back to New Jersey is that I don't have to spend money on flights to go to New Jersey.
Yeah.
Or waste.
I mean, I'd say
use my vacation to go to New Jersey.
I would say on a yearly basis, we probably spend $3,000 a year going back home, going back to New Jersey.
We don't fly anywhere else anymore.
It's rarer now than it used to be.
Oh.
All right. It's God damn it. All right.
What?
It's Tuesday. I'll fix that when we get back. I have June 4th. I have the right date, but not the right day. We're going to take a quick break. And when we get back, we'll talk about all the things that are on that list. All right, Carla Marie, you ready to come back?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Oh,
What?
I'm watching Twitch on my phone and I heard you.
All right, welcome back. Thank you for hanging out. This quick question for everyone who is not subscribed to the channel, because I realized earlier when we were browsing through Twitch, seeing what was available, there were some channels where if they were in an ad, especially, and maybe it's just a pre-roll ad, if a pre-roll ad played, the main video of that streamer just moved to the top of the chat. Smaller, and then you could see the chat. Does anyone have that view when we go to a break?
I feel like everyone is a subscriber.
Possible. Jen said the game is making me feel real dumb today. I got the second word, or the second game, I got the main word, and then I stopped playing. Figured I hit the jackpot there. Let's see. Katie says no. Okay. Yeah, most everyone is subscribed, which is awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. So I changed.
We need music.
I changed the list. It now says Tuesday, June 4th, which is, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, today, right? Anthony's announcement.
You need music.
I don't need music. You know what? Instead of just saying it, hold on.
Go again.
I will, as the kids say, I will say it with my chest. So, if you remember, last year, I tore my Achilles. And I wasn't sure if I was going to be invited back, but Champions of Change, the celebrity basketball game here in Seattle, hosted by some former Seahawks. They did ask me to return and actually play the game this year.
Okay.
So hopefully, if I can just remain uninjured for the next 24 days. That's all I got to do, just a little over 3 weeks. Then I am playing.
Are you excited?
At Climate Pledge Arena.
Great.
Against some legitimate athletes. Like real people who got paid to be athletic. Mm-hmm. Last year, Jamal Crawford played. Isaiah Thomas played. Rodney Stuckey. Who else? Cameron Brink, who became the second overall pick in the WNBA draft. Man. And then a ton of football players. Yeah. So, like...
all the Love is Blind guys.
The Love is Blind guys played. Cliff Averill was playing. I think he was on my team. Yeah, Cliff was on my team.
Am I going to get courtside seats again?
I don't know where they're going to give you the seats, but you do have some tickets. And what's really cool is if you are in the Seattle area, or if you feel like coming out here for the game, they gave us, we are the only people that have a promo code for buy one, get one tickets.
Free or half off?
No, it's buy a BOGO. So buy one, get one.
What's the code?
I'm going to post that all on social later instead of posting it here. Because I'm going to make there's going to be a post about it, and I'll post it on my story as well. So if you want to come to the game.
But are the other celebrities going to get mad that they don't have a promo code after you post it?
They're all rich. They can buy tickets. Right? Like Cliff Averill's got money. Also, what's his name? Richard Sherman. He's got money. He's got that Amazon Prime NFL Thursday money.
Seriously, though, I will only go if I get courtside seats.
I can't promise you those.
Because I got a taste of the WAG life, and I want it back.
I can't promise you those seats. But I'm very excited. I've been trying to get back in shape, trying to get back in basketball shape. And it's been getting better every time I get back on the court. Because a lot of it's just like timing and the feel. First day I was on the court was real ugly. And it's getting better and better. My passes are getting a little crisper. My shot's getting better.
So was it last year? What day did you hurt yourself? It was a Wednesday night, right?
Yeah. It was almost exactly a year ago. It'd be a year ago on Friday. Right?
It was Wednesday, June 7th, so tomorrow.
Today's the 4th.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, almost exactly a year ago is when I tore my Achilles. So unless I pop the same Achilles or tear the other one.
I was going to say what Angela just said, that the day before, which is wild, is the Storm versus the Fever. So Caitlin Clark will be using the locker rooms and gracing the court the day before you play. And I think we're going to go to that game.
I was looking at tickets. They're pretty expensive.
I looked the other day. They were $80.
Yeah, if you want to sit like in literally the last seat.
Well, get me a courtside ticket.
Well, I'm not
it's
playing.
Your arena.
I'm not playing for the Fever or the Storm.
But it's Angela will be from Spokane down in Seattle for that game, so they may stay for you.
That'd be awesome. And like I said, there's a buy one, get one deal. I think what we should do, like we tried to do last year, is figure out a section to tell people to buy the tickets in. Something that's not too crazy because I don't want people paying like $1 billion to come to this thing. So we'll take a look at the stadium maybe on Thursday, the arena, and figure, because tickets are not going to sell out. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
We can figure it out on Thursday. But I am very excited. I started a schedule where I'm going to play basketball, then still do some cardio, but take a break from like jumping. I think I just did too many days in a row last year right off the bat. So I'm going to then go to boxing and then back to basketball to boxing almost every other day.
Please don't embarrass me when you're playing.
I'm
I don't
less
mean by
concerned.
being bad. I mean by like being a ball hog.
No.
Or like, oh, that was a foul.
No, I'm a great teammate. I am.
I don't like, as great as you are as a person and like a partner. I think when you play sports, you're probably a dick.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm very competitive. I'm very competitive. You've never played real sports with me.
No, I watch you.
When?
I have seen you play softball.
Okay. Was I a
Kickball.
bad teammate? Was I mean to
You
anybody?
hear a lot of like, oh, that wasn't supposed to happen.
What are
You do that.
I don't do that at all.
You're like, oh, and you stomp your foot.
What are you talking about? I don't know what Carla Marie is talking about. But I'm never combative with the other team or
Refs.
teammates or refs. I'll if it was like a league, like I used to play the church league in New Jersey, there were times where I would look at a ref and be like, come on, like call a foul at some point.
Oh, yeah, you'll get, your brother's right, though. You get mad at yourself. But like, I don't want to see this is a charity game.
Guess what? You can do whatever you want when you are asked to be in a charity game.
I was asked to play this year.
And you didn't.
Well, because my boobs came off.
Okay. Well, you didn't play.
Well, last year I was asked if I wanted to fill in for you. And I said no. And then they said, well, next year you can play. And I said no.
So I'm very excited. And we'll have more information. Last year there was a live stream. So if you're not in Seattle and you feel like checking it out, you can do that.
Oh, I was like, we didn't.
No, we didn't live stream it, but there was a live stream. Joel McHale is one of the hosts this year.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I was going to see if they wanted my services, but I still, once again, love the WAG life.
Let's see. Champions.
I will be drinking at that event.
So one of the things that I was thinking of was maybe we could do a Seattle meetup the day of the game. And then everyone goes from like maybe Ozzy's, which is right around the corner from the arena, goes right in there. But the problem is, I think I have to be on site at 5:30 and the game doesn't start till 7.
Yeah.
Which means we'd have to start the meetup at 4:30 and then you're sitting there for.
And I got to
that's
go
an
in
all-day
early
thing.
as your +1. I would like to do that again.
Yeah. Okay, champions have changed. Let's see what announcements they made on the website. They don't really keep the website.
Go to their Instagram.
Yeah. Because they made an announcement yesterday. Oh, Lofa Tupu, your buddy? He's going to be playing.
Oh, that's awesome. I hope you're on his team. He's my fave.
He's a very large man.
He is the kindest, funniest human. Is Bender this year?
Bender is announcing
That's
again.
awesome.
He announced last year. Joel McHale, announcer. And who else do we have here?
They don't need me.
I can't click on these. I don't know everyone's names, but
Adam Ray, that's the comedian.
Adam
right?
Ray's a comedian. Michael Bennett is playing. Who else do we have here? She played last year. I don't remember her name.
Wait, is G. Scott working this year? Or that was last year?
He is an announcer as well. Tyler Lockett's going to be playing. Or not Tyler
he's
Lockett.
not. Baldwin.
Doug Baldwin. So it's very, very fun. So if you can make it, it'd be awesome to see you there. And, get out of here. I hate how Instagram keeps trying to make me log in. I'm not logging in Instagram. I just want to see the content. So I'm very excited. Yeah. That is my big announcement. I'll have more information on social, on Instagram and Twitter about how you can get a buy one, get one ticket, the date, all that stuff.
Can I get like when you're like, you know how like they make baseball cards, they make basketball cards?
They do make basketball cards, yes. I don't
like
think they make it for us in the Champions of Change game.
Are you going to do a jersey swap this year, maybe?
No, I'm keeping my jersey. It says my name on the back. Actually, I take it back.
Does it say Anthony or worst Anthony?
If I was smart last year, it says Anthony. They asked me for my number and my name again this year. I said 23 as the number. And then I said worst Anthony or Anthony, whatever you feel like putting on there. I don't know what people are doing. But if I was smart last year, I would have done a jersey swap with Cameron Brink. Although I think her jersey would have been possibly too big for me.
Too long?
She's 6'3", I think.
Yeah.
She's much taller than me.
I recently found the photo I took of the two of you, and you look, and with your leg and the thing, it just really looks like Make-A-Wish.
I know. I'll still never forget.
Which, well, we're not laughing at that, but the
No, I look
entire
like a
event,
Make-A-Wish
a
kid.
lot of people, it just looked like Anthony
Yeah.
was
Well,
granted.
okay, 2 things from last year's event that I always think about. The first was they do individual announcements for all the players, right? Which is pretty cool. You get to be announced in a professional basketball arena
Yeah.
in front of a live audience, live crowd. It's huge. And it's all the real production of a game. It's kind of wild. There's the scoreboard. Everything is like legit. And they were announcing my team second. Okay. So they announced the first team, and everyone's kind of, trickling out of the tunnel. And they obviously kept the biggest names for the end. And the last person to be announced is Isaiah Thomas, who's like a local legend, great basketball player, but he's from Tacoma, played at UW. Like, people love him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The place goes nuts. And as they're cheering for him, the guy who's kind of like helping manage everything backstage, if you will, or in the tunnel, says, "Hey, you're going to go up first." And now I am hearing this crowd. I'm in the tunnel on one leg, hobbling, right? Hobbling. And I'm hearing the crowd go nuts for Isaiah Thomas. And I looked at him and said, you want me to go now? They think another,
So they put you first because you were the least important?
Well, they put me first probably because it was going to take me the longest to get out there,
Who
and
was
I'm
your-
the least important.
Who was your coach? You weren't on
Jewel Lloyd.
You weren't on Sue Bird's team.
No, Sue Bird was the coach of the other team. What's his name? Beast Mode. Why can't I think of his name?
Richard Sherman?
No.
Oh, Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch was supposed to be our coach. Apparently, he never showed up. So Jewel Lloyd ended up being our coach. And what they allowed Jewel and Sue to do, which I thought was pretty cool, is they took like celebrity free throws for people. So Jewel Lloyd at some point gets on the court, shoots, because they're in the middle of it. They're actual like professional basketball players. They're not going to go get hurt in that game. So she was our coach. She was super cool. I liked her a lot. And I might, because she has a pair of Nikes that are out.
Oh, wear hers.
I don't know if she's playing this year or part of it this year.
So
but if
you should wear them just because you want
I
to.
could, and I could support her. Send her a couple bucks, from my purchase. I'm sure she has enough bucks, but
She's all right.
give her some more. So that was the first big embarrassing memory. But then when we were just warming up, I said, you know what? I'm going to go out on the court, and I'm going to at least shoot a couple shots. When
Shoot your
else am I
shot.
going to be on a professional basketball court? And they're doing layup lines and whatnot. I wasn't doing that, obviously. And then everyone kind of cleared out. So I was like, oh, I'm going to go. Maybe I'll see if I can like kind of hobble my way into a layup. And I did that. And I go to grab the ball, which is on the floor. And all of a sudden, a shadow comes over me. And I hear someone, so I duck, and I hear someone dunk. Like, literally, I'm under the basket. And someone decided to dunk while I was there. And their feet kind of swing and, like, knock into me. And I turn around, and it's Richard Sherman. And keep in mind, I've never talked to this man before in my life. And I just, for some reason, thought I was cool enough to be like, hey, Sherm, which was a weird thing for me to say to this man. I said, Sherm, did you just dunk on the only injured person on the court? And he, as he's backpedaling, turns around and goes, whatever, I'll have them fix it in post. Like he would edit me out or edit me with 2 legs, and just ran away. That was it.
I got railed in the face with the basketball during warm-ups while I was taking pictures of you.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Like,
Balls flying everywhere.
But it was like someone threw it at my head.
I don't know. That did not happen. But that is it for my announcement.
Okay, so on Thursday we'll buy tickets.
That is Friday, June 28th. And then the next morning I fly to Japan. So it'll be right between my birthday and my Japan trip. So if you want to come celebrate my birthday, maybe Carla Marie, as a good basketball wife, if you will, can bring a birthday cake. Maybe the whole stadium should be singing me happy birthday.
Last year was on your birthday.
It was. But last year I wanted the least amount of attention as
We had
possible.
a little hat for you, and you made it on the big screen.
Be hobbling around last year was real weird. All right, Carla Marie, it is time for your announcement.
Yes. So, also this month, this is the bucket list month. I am getting to check something off my bucket list because I will be my high school's commencement speaker.
That is pretty cool.
So we are flying to New Jersey.
You have to wear a cap and gown?
No, I asked.
Oh, okay.
We are flying to New Jersey 2 weeks from tomorrow. This came up like super last minute.
Who canceled?
No, they just didn't have someone. And they asked me, and I was like, yes. I've been waiting, like, where have you been all my life? I've literally wanted to do this for the last 18 years since I sat there at my graduation. And at first I said no.
Why?
Well, I didn't, because a parent who, like, kind of is on the board was like, hey, are you in town on June 21st? It's the graduation. And this was the day after Steve passed. We didn't know when we were flying back to Jersey. We didn't even know, like, when services were anything yet. So it was the day after Steve passed, and I knew I still had my surgery. And I just said, I can't do it. Like, I wish. There's no way I can get to New Jersey. I can't fly. Like, I knew you weren't going to be able to come back. It was your birthday weekend. I said no. And then you came home, and I was like, hey, they asked me to be the commencement speaker, but you were like, that's amazing. I was like, I said no. And you were like, what would Steve do? And I was like, he'd figure it out. And I went back and I said, hey, did you report, did you like tell them no yet? And he was like, no, something told me not to. And I was like, all right, I'll do it. So he's like, okay, I just need to get it like official from the principal. So the principal, I get a phone call the next day. It says NAHS. I'm like, oh, I'm in trouble. Like the way my stomach dropped. I don't know the principal now, but he was, you know, he's like, so do you want to do it? I said, yes. And I booked our flights while we were in Florida, and Anthony's going to come. And it's his birthday weekend, so we get to be in Jersey for that. And the coolest part is that my nephew is actually graduating this year.
Is he embarrassed that does he know?
So this is before I 100% said yes. I called my brother, and I'm like, hey, they asked me to do this. I don't want to, like, ruin Nick's graduation for him. I don't want this to, like, end up being, like, about me, or I don't want, like, his classmates to make fun of him, whatever. He goes, I don't think he's going to care, but I'll ask him. So my nephew comes home while my brother's on the phone. He's like, hey, they asked your aunt to be your commencement speaker. And he says, what's that? And he said, the speaker at your graduation. And he goes, my North Arlington graduation? My brother says, what other graduations do you have?
What else is he graduating?
He goes, yeah. And my nephew says, why?
Great question. It's a good follow-up.
And he's like, okay. So, yes. So, my nephew did not care. I don't think he fully understands that his aunt gets to speak for 5 to 10 minutes. But I'm going to keep closer to 5. And I have a bunch of notes.
Yeah, have you started writing the speech yet?
I haven't. That's not how I operate when I write things. I randomly will get thoughts that pop into my head of things that I want to say or how I want to say them. And I will just jot down the note of it. And then what I do is I go in and I write out each thought fully, and then I puzzle piece to see how I can make them flow.
Will I be able to mic you up?
I think so. Yeah, we're gonna do that.
I could probably clip a mic onto you, right, and film you.
Yeah, Harrison Butker could do it. I could do it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he's a professional athlete. So, how much do you think he paid his video crew? And that was a college.
School. That was the college that did it.
Yeah, you're gonna say anything? You should tell men that they've been lied to and they should stay in the kitchen.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, and they should have babies.
No, so I started being like, the theme of my speech, I wanted it to be very much how, like, you think you know everything when you're graduating and you learn so much. And here I am at this point in my life, and there are probably people, like, older than me in the crowd being like, just wait, you're going to learn so much more. And just about how you learn about yourself. And I could sit there and give them all the advice of things that I've learned, but you have to do it on your own.
Yeah.
And then I had another call with the principal and the vice principal on Friday, and they were like, listen, we're not going to tell you what to say at all. We just want to tell you about this class. Like, their freshman year was completely digital.
Oh, COVID?
They were COVID kids. They didn't come back till their sophomore year, and they were just like, they're all good kids, whatever. They were like, we just think the thought of you just being there after all the success you've had will be so cool. And if you could just talk about the different things you've gotten to do in your life.
Yeah.
With, like, the same diploma that they're getting. And I was like, that is not where I was going at all. I wasn't going to be, like, at Elvis Duran in the morning show, but I realized, like, that's why I'm there.
But do you think you're the first unemployed person to ever do a commencement speech?
I own my business, sir. I am employed by the Seattle Seahawks.
Lenny from
Sit down.
Queens. Lenny from Queens said I had Tracy Morgan as my high school commencement speaker, which is wild. And then someone else in here, who was it? Said they had
Spike Lee.
Spike Lee.
Jen and Lisa.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Granted, I went to a Catholic school in college, which was Seton Hall. It was like the Archbishop of, I believe, Argentina.
Well, that makes no sense.
And he did most of it in Spanish. It was, without a doubt, the worst commencement. It was. I would have rather had Harrison Bucker, honestly.
I had my high school. I don't remember, so that's telling.
I don't remember high school either. I think it may have just been our. Doesn't the valedictorian
they do
speech
something?
too?
But the class president, which is bizarre, which was me, gets to introduce me.
Oh, that's
like
cool.
Full circle.
Who did you introduce?
I don't remember. Isn't that insane?
That is crazy.
So my college, though, we had Chris Christie and Judy Bloom.
Together?
No. Well, they were both there. They did different things.
What did they do? What?
Well, Judy Bloom was like the commencement speaker.
Did she go to Rutgers?
I don't know. You don't have to go to the school you speak at.
True, yeah. And Chris Christie I think he graduated Seton Hall Law.
I don't know what he did. He was there. I know. My dad booed him. But, yeah, so they want me to, like, be braggadocious.
I mean, not braggadocious, but obviously talk about how you went on from North Arlington High School to do some pretty impressive things that not a lot of people get to do.
And far away.
That's what you should tell everyone. Just get out of North Arlington for at least a little bit. And that doesn't mean you go to Hoboken. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I think I put a thing about
get the fuck out.
Only you guys will understand when I say this, but GTFO.
Yeah.
I think I put something about trips and experiences will bring you so much more joy than anything else. Yeah. It's just a random note that I have. Like this is how I operate. These are all my thoughts. And then these are the notes from the school. But
I should start doing that because I'm going to have to make a speech for my brother's wedding because I'm his best man.
Because you think, oh, I'll remember that. How could I forget that? You forget it. And I think my sister's my maid of honor speech is really when I did the same process. But in high school, at every event, I would have to make a speech.
Okay. Because you're the president?
So junior and senior year, I had to do...
You know what you should do at your speech? You should say, listen, I know your parents are going to get mad at me for saying this. And they're going to tell you that this is a lie. But no one outside of New Jersey says gabagool. That's something.
Wait. That's actually, if I do something about how.
I feel like you should know that before you venture
I'm
out
talk about
into the world.
The cultural differences of leaving New Jersey and going to Seattle and everyone being like, your name is calamari, like the squid.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm going to write go.
You should definitely do that. Outside of New Jersey, listen, you should say, New Jersey is great. North Arlington has given me some of my best memories. But it's important to know that gabagool and galamad are not real things. You've been lied to. Oh, my God. How did Harrison Butker set up the whole...
Diabolical. Diabolical lie. Oh, what can I say is a deadly sin?
No, but that's what you should... The way he prefaced women... The lies that we tell
Italians in New Jersey have been told diabolical lies.
Oh, man. Dana on Long Island said, they're real if you come to parts of Long Island. That's true. I guess New York, New Jersey, probably a little bit of Connecticut.
Yeah, the tri-state.
Do you consider New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut the tri-state?
Yes, it's not Pennsylvania.
I always think it's Pennsylvania, but I know when people are talking about like your tri-state car dealerships, it's those three states. It's Connecticut.
Because Northern Jersey, New York City, and Connecticut are all right there. Like you get to Pennsylvania,
you got to go through Jersey. Yeah.
Well, I guess you can go west, but still, they're all connected.
Do you have a different tri-state wherever you live? Because you can be on the corner of Idaho, Oregon, and Washington. And be a tri-state. You can be pretty close to there. I mean, basically anywhere where more than two states.
What's Tri-Cities is?
Tri-Cities is all in Washington, though.
That's here. What is that one? There's one in Iowa.
A tri-state? I don't know what you're trying to say.
Iowa has something. Corn.
Iowa has. Wait, did you say corn for Iowa?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I thought you said Idaho for a second, and I was gonna be like, you picked anything other than potatoes, but yeah.
I don't know. Deborah said, "What is gabagool?" I know I didn't spell it right.
There you go, Carla Marie.
It's capicola, Cappicola, and it's an Italian cured meat.
Gabagool.
But New Jersey Italians call it gabagool.
I do. You know what I need? I follow a lot of linguists on Instagram. At least 4 or 5, which is a lot considering they're linguists. I need, and a lot of times they break down how words change over time, how words people consider woke today have been used since the 1500s in the same exact context. I need someone to break down where those Italian words specifically, where the divergence happened. Like, how did you get from capicola to gabagool? There are very few repeated letters in those two words.
Probably just saying like capicola really fast.
I need someone to explain all of that to me. But someone said, so Run Like a Husky said, Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, Indiana can be considered the tri-states. But do your car dealerships...
That could be something I could tell them, that this isn't the only tri-state.
Stick with the gabagool.
I'm not doing it.
Because the only reason like the tri-state area is burned into our brains, I think, is from TV and radio car dealership ads. It's like, oh, visit your local tri-state Jeep dealership over and over and over. And I'm sure those dealership groups use those same terms elsewhere.
It's also because it is rare that one major radio station can actually hit 3 different states. Z100, it goes into Connecticut.
It does.
It's obviously
it's
top half of New Jersey.
It's the biggest radio station that does that because it's the biggest radio station. I mean, it's the biggest radio market, and it's the best radio station.
And how concentrated that area is.
Yeah. There was a crazy statistic I remember when I was working at Z100, looking to get jobs elsewhere because I wanted to grow and get an elevated position, to get a promotion somewhere, and it wasn't going to happen at Z100. And I remember... there was a time where Z100 actually wanted Carla Marie and I to do like a late night shift. Not necessarily overnights, but it would have been essentially 10 to 2 in the morning. Then there were other positions like Seattle. There were other cities that were interested in having Carla Marie and I go do shows. And one of my radio mentors, Romeo, said, listen, go wherever you want. He goes, but if you think that you're going to get a larger audience in a different city, I just want you to know overnights, meaning 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. in New York, has a larger listening audience than Morning Drive in Miami. Yeah. Think about how... It has, why would you talk about Miami? That's the number he had available to him. Think about how wild that is. There are more people listening in the tri-state area to Z100 between the hours of 2 in the morning and 6 a.m. than there are between the hours of 6 a.m. and 10 in the morning in Miami.
It's crazy.
It's wild.
Even now with all the traffic in Florida, I don't buy it.
I mean, this was a couple of years ago, but I'm sure it's still close to being true.
Okay, so you're doing Champions of Change. Yes. I'm speaking at my high school graduation.
Yes.
Then we have one more.
Then the big show announcement. We have finalized, I believe, all of the details, right? And on Thursday, we finally get to introduce.
Should be. That's the date that it's selected to go live. I just get nervous with things.
Thursday, we should finally be able to introduce our group trip to Costa Rica. Mm-hmm. We'll be able to tell you how you can save, I think, close to $400
if you book.
If you book early,
or not, and by book, it doesn't mean you have to pay for the whole trip. Just if you say yes, I'm going, and put down a deposit.
Yeah. And then you get to save $400, which all of us could do that.
We have to hit a certain amount of people, which is 10, in order for the trip 100% to happen. And if you put down a deposit and we don't hit that 10 by a certain date, you get all your money back.
Yeah. So there's kind of like no harm, no foul. You're not going to ever be in a situation where you lose your money and don't go on the trip.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. We have made sure of that. But
Felipe said, "I'll Venmo my money right now."
No, don't send it to us.
No. They do have a cool payment plan too. Like it's great. It's no interest.
And because the trip isn't until next year, you can pay it off like monthly if you want to. It doesn't have to be all right away. Because listen, you're going to have to buy your own flight. Everything else is included basically in this trip.
Ricky, we've definitely mentioned this in the group chat.
Oh, Ricky knows. Trip's canceled, guys. Sorry. Can't happen.
Ricky, I think, when are we going?
That's a great question. We'll have all the details on Thursday, but it's either
March or April next year.
Either late March or early April next year. Kyle King is in the house. What up, Kyle? He said, I'll go as long as Anthony and I can bunk together. Absolutely, Kyle. What Ricky is now saying. See, very different reactions from, I believe, 2 people in Tennessee right now, because Kyle, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you are in Tennessee now. He wants to room with me in Costa Rica, and Ricky in Nashville is saying that she hates me.
Oh, so, I think we'd leave on a Friday and come back on a Wednesday or something. I don't know. My dates are off in here because they have us going a day earlier to set up stuff. But
there we go. I knew I was right. Clarksville, Tennessee.
Clarksville sounds like it would be in Indiana. Say it.
Clarksville sounds like it's probably in a lot of cities.
Clarksville,
a lot of states.
Indiana. Sounds way better than Clarksville, Tennessee.
You want to see how many Clarksvilles there are? Let's do it. Clarksville. We got Tennessee, and Indiana and Arkansas.
And Maryland.
Virginia and Maryland. Okay. That Clark, he was just out there settling all that land that didn't belong to him.
That's the whitest of white guys.
That's what Clarks do. That's what Clarks do. All right, so those are our 3 announcements. I want to do one quick thing. We'll get into parenting eavesdropping tomorrow. The Japan. I did talk about going to Japan already. That trip is booked. And as I learn more about things I need to do and prepare for Japan, I will share all of that with you. I'm trying to learn all the customs. Because the last thing I want to do, especially when you travel as an American, is you never want to be the shitty American that travels abroad.
But the thing is, most Americans are that when they travel abroad.
But that's what I don't want to be. You see pictures and videos all the time now on TikTok and Instagram of just Americans being the shittiest
They're doing
travelers.
That here too.
Yeah, but this is where they are. They're all here. They're allowed to be crappy here.
I can't. I'm seriously moving to Italy.
So self-control is something that I want to talk about.
Therapy?
No. I've been pretty good. So speaking of Japan, actually, one of the things that I've been looking for is I'm trying to find the old Game Boy Color camera because I want to take pictures in Japan on the Game Boy Color camera.
Do you remember the quality of those photos?
It wasn't great.
You can't even, you might see an eyeball.
It's more of a novelty. I'm going to take regular pictures too, but I want to do a kind of a slideshow of what I saw in Japan through a Game Boy Color camera. Okay. And they're usually about $50. I'm trying to find one at a local shop before I go online and buy one.
I've been on the hunt for a digital camera also. Because,
an old school digital camera?
Yeah, well, it could just be a new one. They're $50 on Amazon, but I haven't seen a lot of people post, and I'm these photos look so cool.
But because I've been going into these retro game shops, I have to have some self-control, right? Because there's always a game or some sort of peripheral device that I want, and I keep telling myself, you don't have a ton of funds. Right. You're going to Japan. You got to save your money to buy things there.
And these are toys.
And I just don't need to buy them. And I've gone into, I don't know, maybe a dozen shops as I've looked for this. And I've had amazing self-control. I've not purchased a single thing. So yesterday, it happened again, right? I had to go pick up some stuff. And on the way back, I realized I was very close to a video game store that always has a really great inventory. Pink Gorilla Games in the U District. So I go in. Walked around a little bit just to do some window shopping. Game Boy camera? I did. I went to the front, and they have a couple different locations. So I asked if they have the Game Boy camera. He looked it up. No Game Boy camera hardware, right? So I was like, all right, I'm out of here. Time to go. And then I bought this Game Boy watch.
Where is it right now?
It's at home right now. But
what?
I bought. So
How much? How many dollars?
I was literally walking out of the door, And this woman walks in behind me, or in front of me, I should say, and I overhear her say to the guy at the counter, I have a Game Boy watch I want to sell. Would you guys take it? And I was like, I've never seen one of these in person. Let me go see what it looks like. So I waited till they finished up their transaction. She walks out. It took like 2 seconds.
Wait, you should have just bought it directly from her.
I thought about it, but I didn't have the time. The transaction was already happening by the time I got back there. So
how much did he sell it to you for?
So I think they bought it for $5.
Who? Oh.
The store.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, is that a Game Boy watch? And he said, it is. And I said, I'll check it out. And he goes, well, I was about to post it, but if you want it for $10, you can have it.
So he just doubled his money. What the hell? Corporate America.
But here's the thing. That they do have to make their money at those stores.
No, and I love those stores. So $10.
$10, yeah. I think it's a pretty good investment, honestly.
But that is wild how they just, in seconds, doubled their dollars.
He was probably so pumped that he didn't have to, like, keep that in inventory. I don't know how much he would have listed it for.
Does it do anything else besides tell the time?
It's an alarm as well. That's it. Doesn't play games or anything. I think they used to have some Game Boy watches where you could play, like, Tetris or some of the really simple games on there. But yeah, that is now mine for $10. So now I have a calculator watch, the old school Casio calculator watch, and I've got a Game Boy watch. Talk about smartwatches. Look at that thing. So that was me. I had self-control for so long. For months, I've been going to these stores, and I bought 0 things. I figured $10 is not bad.
Clean Pillow said 100% worth it.
Yeah, a lot of Tacoma Swiftie, thank you.
Amanda said that reminder to hydrate came from my 15-year-old that was annoyed with how many unused points I had.
All right, let's hydrate. I mean, they're right. There we go. Let's see. Lisa said, I'm positive that $10 has been spent in worse ways. True.
Yeah, one time these kids were selling chocolate bars in the parking lot of a movie theater, and I think I spent $10 on a chocolate bar.
That's insane.
Well, it was for charity.
For their basketball team? Likely story. Likely story. It's a great hustle, though. It's a great hustle. I mean, every time I would get off the light rail in Jersey City, there was a kid trying to sell me a $7 to $10 candy bar.
If it's like a regular Hershey's, it's fake. But if it's those ones, I don't like. What is the brand? Schools only do it, and they used to have like inside there'd be like peanut butter or caramel, and the wrappers were like smooth wrappers, and they were very aesthetic. Is it Gertrude Hawk?
I have no idea.
Gertrude, are you telling? Is it really?
I'll look it up. Gertrude Hawk? I've
and then
never heard of that.
Did your school do the lollipops?
The big
round, like they look like cake pops, but they were lollipops. Oh, the cotton candy one. I would give you all my money if you were selling it for your school.
Gertrude Hawk.
Let me see.
Official website.
Let me show me the chocolates.
Fundraising.
Just go to Google Images.
No, I don't want to. Okay, this is very annoying, actually. I will go
just
to
scroll
Google
down.
Images. Google.
What? What?
I started typing in Google Images. Just hit images. I don't know what I was doing there. Are these guys?
Maybe they changed their packaging, but that's not what ours looked like.
They do look. They look good.
Wait, go down. I don't know. My packaging was different.
Okay.
But yeah, we sold.
I've never heard of that chocolate before in my life. Gertrude Hawk.
It's very good.
Okay.
If your kids are selling that, or if they are selling the lollipops, I don't know. I think they were like 50 cents in high school.
Mm.
I would spend up to $1.50.
They used to sell those. Weren't fundraising lollipops though. They would sell them at like our little school store.
Oh, we would fundraise for new cheer skirts.
No.
Pom poms.
What else do we have here?
Also, if your school is selling the pizzas that you would make at home yourself, so you would get like the dough, the cheese, and the sauce.
Didn't do that
I
either.
would buy that from you.
How Italian was your high school?
I will not buy the wrapping paper.
We would sell wrapping paper, and we would sell, which actually I think is a good scheme. The wrapping paper scheme is good. We used to sell magazines. Which I'm assuming kids don't do that anymore because like magazines are basically dead.
World's Finest Chocolate.
World's Finest Chocolate. Fundraising. Oh, those are good.
I've seen these, but no.
Those are good.
Is the screen on for people?
No, it is not. I can do it if you
I
give me
think
the mic,
Gertrude Hawk may have changed their
if you give me the remote back.
the clicker.
I can put this on the screen real quick.
Ricky, the clicker. Okay, I want one of those pops so bad, but I'm not supposed to have sugar.
Here, let's get. Oh. Okay, I don't know why that's
I'm
there
still
now.
here.
That's what happens when you try to produce a show on your own.
What else did I get to say? There was something about high school graduation. Oh, maybe at the graduation they'll be selling some
That stuff.
lollipops.
Those were good.
Yeah, that's not what I was talking about.
Okay.
They had like plaid, like little squares on them, on the wrapper.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, the big fundraising things we would do, like I said, magazines, gift wrapping paper, and then for our sport-specific stuff, like that was mostly for our school, like our graduating class, so we could pay for things like dances or help pay for prom or whatever.
Which is insane because I think you guys were okay paying for it.
Yeah. But then we would do like our sport-specific stuff. We had a run-a-thon for track to help pay for like kids going down to Penn relays and stuff like that. And then a bench-a-thon for football, which I don't even know what we were helping to pay for. Maybe uniforms. I have no idea.
What is in the office? They have the, was it like 10 cents a mile?
Something like that. But I would go to, my dad was in the jewelry exchange on Route 4 in Paramus. And there were like, 50 to 80 individual jewelers that all knew my dad. And they would all support each other's kids. And none of them understood like the concept. So they all said like, oh, I'll give you $1 per lap. Or I'll give you.
That happens to Michael Scott.
$1 per pound or whatever it is for the bench-a-thon. And these guys owed me like $300 each. I cleaned up.
Yeah.
Cleaned up.
Your dad, Michael
I
Scott.
think I supported our entire team by myself.
So Fred the Mailman said that I sold gabagool for my school fundraiser. But Ricky just texted the whole Content Kittens group.
Yeah.
So that's Ricky, Jake, Erica, John, you, and me in our group chat and said, guys, Anthony bought a Game Boy watch for $10 and you can't even play games on it. It's just a fucking watch. Only time will be told on that thing.
Ricky's just mad because I told her I don't want her to come to Costa Rica. Although I would love to see Ricky in Costa Rica. I'd love for the whole Content Kittens to be able to go there.
Yeah. That would be fun.
But those radio vacations, those are tough.
They don't exist.
No, they exist. It's hard to like manage it sometimes.
Oh my God.
And 3 of those fools are now on morning shows in across the country. Think about how crazy it is when we started the Content Kittens and would do live streams with them and stuff. You, me, Ricky, all unemployed.
Mm-hmm.
Jake was working.
Did he move to Napa? He
was still working for Elvis, I think, and then moved to Napa.
Yeah, actually,
No,
he moved to Napa early 21.
So I think he had left Elvis's show and had not moved to Napa yet.
But we did a Christmas stream 2020,
Yeah.
so he was with Elvis still.
And then Erica and John were both working for the Ryan Seacrest show as part-time producers, basically.
No, they were full-time.
Were they both full-time?
Yes.
And now, 3 of them, 2 of them have their own morning shows, right? Erica in Salt Lake City, Ricky in Nashville. John is on one of the most successful radio shows you could be on in Los Angeles, on the Val Show. Jake is crushing life
At Royal Caribbean.
And we're still here. We're still doing our thing.
One would say that we did all of that for them.
No, we did none of that for them.
I'm kidding.
We did none of that for them. They did all that on their own.
That's what they get for your, yeah, it's true, because then we would be doing something. We're doing something pretty cool.
No, I love what we're doing. I love what we're doing. Kyle King, also in the stream, he was, I believe, unemployed for a while when we started. We had him on the Twitch stream for a little bit. The podcast. And now he's hosting his own show in Tennessee.
Mike said, I still remember the Christmas stream. John got so drunk.
Did he? I don't remember.
I don't remember. No, wait, we didn't do a Christmas stream with them. It was Jake. You might be thinking Jake, because
Jake definitely got drunk.
the Christmas stream was me, you, Ricky, Jake.
Rain said, what platform / whose channel did you do the live stream on or with them on? That would be Twitch. Before we even really live streamed to YouTube. But it was also like years and years ago.
Oh, RTD Awards maybe is when John got a little toasty. Thank you, Jen.
It is time for us to get out of here. Carla Marie, any final words before we go?
I'm saving all my words for my commencement speech.
Super excited for that. We'll have more information about Champions of Change, which I'd love to see you there. We're also going to have more information about the Costa Rica trip. All of that will be on Thursday. Don't forget, there are new episodes of the Morning Show podcast available wherever you get your shows. Later.
I think I'm going to use your gabagool line.